surely.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, pledge allegiance to Texas, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We have a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mayor Spicer.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Green. Alderman Rizzo. Here. Alderman Marcy Hoffman.
Here.
Alderman Curtis.
Here.
Alderman Morris.
Here.
All right, do we have any public comments?
Do not believe anybody.
All right. Number one on the consent agenda is approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting on February 22nd, 2021.
It's all one. So you'll approve.
1 and 2 is all one?
For motion.
Okay. And approve the resolution of the city of Jamaica Beach authorizing the aerial spraying for mosquitoes. Galveston County Mosquito Control. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion as stated.
A second?
I'll second.
Any comment? I want to hear the person speak up that's against mosquito spray.
Shouldn't have anything.
Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Number one on the regular agenda, discuss and possible action to adopt a resolution suspending Texas Gas Service Company 2021 Annual Gas Reliability Infrastructure Program rate adjustment for 45 days. Mr. Administrator?
So this is something that I noticed that, y'all guys have not done in the past. It's highly recommended. We have a company that, and we have a law firm that represents us already, with a couple of different other cities. And so what their recommendation was, as you can see on your agenda discussion form, was to just suspend the rate for the next 45 days. And then they'll give us some advice on what to do next.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion, Ms. Red.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. With discussion.
In discussion? Go ahead. Russell?
I was sworn we do this almost every year.
I went back and I looked, and I could not find it.
It was 2 years ago, I think was the last time we visited the grill.
We've done it before, for sure.
Wait, we've gone over this before.
Yeah, and it's more of a housekeeping issue. I mean, there's nothing that you can do to repeal, the Texas Gas from doing this. It's just that you can delay it for 45 days and there may be action items. If not, there is still some salvation in that 45-day period as far as monitoring.
And the PUC still will be, I got it, I just recently got it, so I didn't get it enough time to put it on this agenda, so it'll be, on next month's agenda.
And there's no negotiating with them.
Any more discussion? Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Number two, discuss and possible action to approve the city to use reserve park funds for hosting Easter, to host the Easter hunt, egg hunt. This is host the Easter in the park.
Easter party.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion, Ms. Red.
Have a second?
Also,
Any discussion? I know we have usually put a monetary value on
So,
this.
right, can I have a value,
I asked for $500.
$500?
Can we have that in the motion, please?
I would put that in motion, $500.
So that covers the eggs of toys, eggs of candy, petting zoo. Because we won't do any food this year still, but we can make sure we'll bring food back.
Any more discussion? Anybody opposed to Easter? Motion carried. Number 3, discuss and consider action to approve the application of special use permit for new restaurant and bar, Venados Cantina, for MBLH TABC permit located at 16510 Termini Road, San Luis Pass Road. Owners are Vibes Inc., Kenny and Joey Buck. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And they've already had a use permit over here at Buck's Bar for, I don't know, about 15 years.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, from 2003 is when they had the application for that permit. They're actually making application to transfer the same permit, TABC, over to the new location. Obviously, it still has to get special use because it is a new location. Last Monday, on the 8th, we had a planning and zoning commission meeting where the P&Z committee voted unanimously to issue the special use permit.
Any more discussion?
I'm excited for the permit.
Anybody opposed? If not, motion carries. Number 4, discuss and consider for action the proposed reopening plan for the city of Jamaica Beach, including City Hall, Municipal Court, and open meetings. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. And
I'll second.
And I believe, Brad wanted to put this on the agenda, but the way I had handled it earlier is I just told Sean and the girls, so if they wanted to close the city hall, they felt more comfortable with it, then it was up to them. Because a couple of people need to be protected, and, I think he just wanted to put it on the agenda to make sure that we all agreed.
That's correct. If, on the handout that you received, as you can see, basically what we're gonna do, with your approval, obviously, tomorrow we would be opening the doors to City Hall again. We would still encourage anyone that can do business online to do that business online. We encourage anyone to wear a mask inside. We'll keep the doors to the city clerk's office closed, and they will be conducting business through the plexiglass safety window going forward. As far as the court is concerned, as you also well know, that the United States Supreme Court has been laying down the basic rules for all courts within the nation to go by with the COVID-19. And they had a meeting last week to let it be up to the citizens, the city, the counties, the district courts on how to conduct court. Judge Brown was contacted with those results. He is not adverse to opening up the city court system. We will have more restrictions on the court than in open city hall. Basically, we'll still have the Zoom hearings available for those who are uncomfortable about coming to court. So we're gonna be conducting 2 courts, a Zoom court and an in-person court, same docket every month. In the in-person court, the docket, folks on the docket will be waiting outside. They'll be brought in one by one, screened by no-touch fever screening, and obviously the questionnaire as far as the COVID questions. They will be coming into the courtroom here individually to be heard. Once they leave, there'll be sanitation taking place, and then they'll call the second person on the docket out. There has been a backlog of folks that says they can't do Zoom hearings, and so they kind of been buying some time and buying some more time, and so this way we're gonna kind of be able to exercise that backlog, get it moving again. And outside of that, in the open meetings, we still will practice social distancing. We will not allow any more than 17 folks coming here at a time. Obviously, folks are encouraged to wear a mask. Officials do not have to wear one because of, you'll be speaking and such. And then next month, it should be revisited again. And with your permission today, then we would just, again, use the protocols for the county and the cities on the island to go forward to opening up even more.
Any comments? Any questions? Anybody opposed? Motion carries. City Administrator's report.
Everything obviously in the transaction, we're still, moving forward. We did just get an opening on the Arctic blast. It's now, for emergency action. As far as granting is concerned with that, we will be filing a claim. The only claims that we can file for right now is, again, emergency claims. So we have very limited funds. Mostly that comes into USW funds that we have to get out there on extended call outs and those kind of things. We're putting that stuff together. I will be filing a claim by March the 21st. As to that, we're also doing a DSO form that goes to the county, and we're trying to get over the threshold so FEMA will consider categories other than category B, the emergency category. Trying to get category A and then all the other categories. So what that could actually touch would be replenishing vegetation in the parks and such that have been damaged, that kind of thing, where we can't claim that stuff at this juncture. So by the 21st of this month, we'll be following the first phase of the claim. It's gonna be limited, and we're gonna try to establish justification, so FEMA may open the doors to other categories, to be considered for that as well.
Is that it?
That's it.
Mayor's report, I went to the market. My, I think everybody wanted to get out of their house. There were a lot of people there. And,
It's a beautiful day.
I bought a antelope head. But I was really happy with the turnout. Everybody was having a really good time. So Alderman's reports, we'll start with Marcy.
Just a reminder for the 3rd at 10 a.m. we'll be doing the Easter celebration. We'll start a little after.
What was that date?
April 3rd. Start a little after. I know people run a little bit late, but we'll say 10.
Did it?
That's it.
Have to be through by noon.
It'll be through in 30 seconds.
The other one?
Semi sort of a report from Brad. I got the draft of where the short-term rental committee was last October. The public may not be aware that the reason that those meetings were suspended was because Pirates Beach and Terramar both had lawsuits against the HOAs for attempting to put any kind of regulations in place on the owners of short-term rentals. So we didn't see any purpose in continuing with the committee until that was resolved. That is still not resolved. Therefore, I think we need some closure, and we don't need 6 pages, which is what we were at with the committee, down from about 10 pages. But I feel that we do need to meet this month to establish minimal guidelines. And in my mind, that means not applications, but registering if you are a short-term rental owner. And if you are comfortable with the PO, power of attorney to the police force, otherwise a phone number where you can be reached. That would be minimal to me. No fees, no money, no nothing, other than we need to know. And then if we wanna go back and reconvene later in the year after these lawsuits have worked their way through, and then we'll have a model to go by, and that's just my feelings. But I think we need to have some closure to a committee that put in at least a dozen hours, if not more. All of those people don't still live here anymore, but I'm sure Brad has a list of the people that are on that committee. I think we need to get that taken care of as soon as possible.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Nothing at this time.
Morris?
No, I was gonna hit on just what, Alderman Rizzo was talking about, that sounds like a good plan to move forward with that. Also, I'd like us to follow up on the, Texas General Land Office has some funding opportunities. I look for us to move forward on some of that, and, really start to get some of this money that we can capture and, use for our community. But other than that, that's all I got.
Please report.
Mayor, council. So this, in February, we continued working on several projects. One of them was the body worn camera system. We did get a demo unit from a vendor. It was 6 body cams, laptop, docking stations, such. We put it in the field, let the officers evaluate them. They did do very well, but we are looking at many different options that are out there. We're trying to get more demos, and trying to get the best price that we can get for going forward with body cameras. Still continue to work on with vendors for demos on camera systems for the city. Police activity, we had 4 new cases that were opened up in February. One of them was a fraud case, which was an informational only. We had another case, which was an identity theft case that was informational only as well. The third case was an indecent exposure that did not happen in our city. That was a Galveston call that our officers did assist with. So that's basically turned over to another jurisdiction. Our officer just helped and assisted with them. The last one was a drunk and disorderly call, and that was cleared by an arrest. Officers wrote 45 tickets in February. During the freeze, we had many houses that we turned off. We had many welfare checks. Officers were assisting with passing out water and helping residents, making sure everything was going good. Personnel issues, one of our officers, Jeff Petta, been on one of our officers since October. He had applied for Texas City PD before he even started with us while he was still a reserve. Texas City PD kind of drug their feet a little bit, but they finally came through and made him an offer, and he decided to accept their offer. So he's moving, he's left our department now, and he's going to Texas City, and we promoted from within one of our officers. His name's Chris Nolan. He was one of our reserves. Now he's a nighttime full officer, filling in for Mr. That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else to come, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Have a second? Anybody opposed to adjourn? We are adjourned.